We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.
In the headlines, President Buhari summons emergency security meeting. Senate summons Emefiele as Naira crashes to 710 Naira per dollar. On a foreign scene, Iraqi protesters stormed the parliament in Baghdad's green zone. Now the news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari has summoned the service chiefs to an emergency security meeting for today. According to his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, those expected to attend the meeting include the Chief of Staff to the President, Ibrahim Gambari, and the National Security Advisor, NSA, Major General Babagana Monguno, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awal Gambo, and the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Isiaka Oladayo Amao. Others scheduled for the meeting are the Chief of Defence Staff, General Lucky Rabo, the Inspector General of Police, Akali Baba Osman, the Director General of the Department of State Service, DSS, Yusuf Bichi, and the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, NIA, Ahmed Rufai Abubakar. Troops of the 7th Guards Brigade, which provides security for the President, Hiovila, and the FCT, were ambushed in the late hours of Monday while on patrol along the Kubwa Buhari Road in the nation's capital. The situation, which led to the death of 3 soldiers, forced the authorities to close down academic institutions in the FCT. Meanwhile, days after the incident, senators from opposition parties led by Senate Minority Leader Senator Philip Aduda have issued a 6-week ultimatum to President Muhammadu Buhari to tackle the security challenges bedeviling the country or face impeachment proceedings.
Everybody's asking him questions. Everybody's telling him.
The Senate had at various levels, at various times, convened various security meetings, various security issues were discussed, and we did recommend to government various steps and measures aimed at curbing these issues of insecurity. At the closed session, we agreed that we will give the president an ultimatum, failing which, if it is not complied with, we'll move immediately to give an impeachment notice. So when we came out of the closed session, we expected that the Senate president will brief public on the issues that have happened, but however, that did not happen. In protest to brief you and to let you know that we're with Nigerians in this struggle. The security situation in Nigeria is deteriorating and urgent steps needs to be completely taken. Well, we have given 6 weeks precisely within which security issues should really be resolved. Even, yes, all our resolutions should also be implemented.
However, reacting to the impeachment threat, presidential spokesman Lai Mohammed was of the opinion that the opposition lawmakers were merely playing to the gallery, adding that there is not much they will do after the drama which played out in the upper chamber.
I want to assure you that Mr. President is aware of all this. I think tomorrow there's going to be another Security Council meeting. So it's not a matter the president is taking lightly. Like I've always said, some of the measures we are going to take are not measures that you can discuss, openly here. But we're as concerned as you are. We're not going to abandon our responsibility. As to those who have issued threats to Mr. President, I think it's more propaganda than anything. It's laughable. As to the resolution passed by Senate, as rightly said, it was passed when we were deliberating. But we thank them for their patriotism and their concern, but we are working around the clock 24 hours to ensure that the situation is brought under control.
The federal government has approved the leasing of 3 aircraft for the commencement of operations for the country's carrier Nigeria Air. Aviation Minister Hadi Sirika, at the close of this week's Federal Executive Council meeting, had noted that the airline would begin with 3 planes made by Airbus and Boeing, running solely domestic routes for now, but he declined to state the actual date operations would kick off.
To allow the Nigeria Air to lease aircraft to start operations. That has been approved by Council. And the second, deployment of investigation tool by Accident Investigation Bureau. That tool permits the accident investigation to be able to record going-ons in flight. May God forbid, should there be a need to investigate the accident or the incident or the serious incident. The tool will help them to be able to do so. That procurement sum of which is equivalent to 707,962,864 Naira and 83 kobo. This will be including taxes.
The Senate on Wednesday resolved to summon the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, to a closed-door session over the rapid depreciation of the Naira. The Naira has been under immense pressure in the past 2 weeks. Despite starting the day at 675 Naira to a dollar, the exchange rate between the Naira and the US dollar on Wednesday fell beyond the 710 Naira per dollar threshold on the black market. Worried by the development, the Senate, after consideration of a motion sponsored by Senator Olubunmi Adetunbi, adopted a resolution to invite the CBN governor to a closed-door session of the Senate. Adetunbi had noted that the indefinite halt on forex bidding by bureau de change operators and importers by the CBN has led to the spike in the exchange rate. He therefore advised the central bank to take new measures to curb forex scarcity and address the sliding rate of the Naira exchange. The Labour Congress, the NLC, on day 2 yesterday continued its protest in Abuja over the prolonged strike by university workers across the country. It comes a day after a similar demonstration held in various states of the Federation except in the FCT. In company of the NLC President Ayuba Waba and immediate past President of the Academic Union, Professor Biodun Ogunyemi, among others, the current ASU President, Professor Emmanuel Oshodeke, had declared that it is no longer about negotiations but action on the part of the federal government.
And we met and we agreed, both sides agreed. So the issue of middle ground, we have gone beyond that. The issue of UTAS, they challenge us and we get to them. You won't compare it to what they are using that is not tested, that costing the nation so much money. So there is no issue for middle ground. Let them come back to us and say we want to sign the document tomorrow. And that's all. They have money to do other things. 2 days ago, they said they are releasing 400 billion for poverty alleviation. Nobody knows what they're going to do with it. No plan, nothing, no strike. A few minutes ago, they also need to say they were giving 200 billion again for feeding children in secondary school. Have you seen anybody being fed?
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has ruled out the chances of further extension of the ongoing Continuous Voter Registration (CVR) exercise. Chief Ken Okeagu, the INEC National Commissioner in charge of Ebonyi, Enugu and Imo states, said this at a news briefing in Abakaliki on Wednesday. Okeagu, who was on a one-day monitoring visit to Ebonyi State, expressed satisfaction with the turnout of prospective registrants, adding that the Commission would consider the deployment of additional voter enrollment machines to address the surge at the registration centres. Still in politics, ahead of the 2023 general election, the presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Dumebi Kachiku, has called on the present government to leave power for those who have what it takes to rule. Dumebi, who made the disclosure at the unveiling of his presidential running mate, Ahmed Buhari, also noted that the ADC is the party which will deliver the country of insecurity, economic collapse, among others.
The next election will be about capacity. It won't be about lies or vote buying. Pure capacity. It will be about charting a new course for our people. It will be about redefining our collective charter as Nigerians. It will be about kicking out mediocrity and enthroning meritocracy. It will be about building strong institutions and processes that defy corruption, nepotism, and tribalism. We must rescue Nigeria from all those who have destroyed our nation. We must rescue our who are still being held captive by politicians. We must rebuild our economy from the ground up.
In his acceptance speech, Ahmed Buhari noted that his acceptance to run with Dumebi is the clear and evident desire he saw within the party's hierarchy to effect positive change in the country.
My acceptance to team up with Dumebi and the ADC is a clear and evident desire I saw within the party's hierarchy to effect positive change in Nigeria. Many presidential candidates and their running mates have only focused on talking about the Nigerian problems we are all too well familiar with, while some others have decided to publicly attack and assassinate the character of other candidates. Here, we only talk about solutions. We will only talk about solutions that will get us out of the mess that we have created out of negligence, laziness, self-centeredness, self-denial, and ignorance.
The Federal High Court in Abuja has granted bail to the suspended Accountant General of the Federation, Idris Ahmed, and his co-defendants upon terms and conditions given by the EFCC. The accused are facing a 14-count charge bordering on stealing and criminal breach of trust to the tune of 109.5 billion naira. Justice Ajayi also ordered that the defendants should not have and shall not procure alternate passports until the case is done with, having deposited their original passports to the Commission. Moving on to the foreign scene, hundreds of Iraqi demonstrators, most of them followers of the Iraqi Shia leader Muqtada al-Sadri, on Wednesday stormed the parliament building in Baghdad to protest against the nomination for prime minister by Iran-backed parties. No lawmaker was present in parliament when the protesters penetrated the capital's high-security green zone, home to government buildings and diplomatic missions. The unrest follows 9 months of stalemate during which disputes between the country's different political factions have prevented the creation of a new government. According to reports, the Biden administration has offered to exchange Victor Bout, a convicted Russian arms trafficker serving a 25-year U.S. prison sentence, as part of a potential deal to secure the release of 2 Americans held by Russia, Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan, according to people briefed on the matter. Whelan has been held by Russia for alleged espionage since 2018. WNBA star Griner has been jailed in Moscow for drug possession since February. Griner pleaded guilty in early July but said she unintentionally brought cannabis into Russia while packing her things. A senior administration official suggested Moscow has not been responsive to the substantial offer first presented in June. In business news, the Federal Executive Council, the FEC, has received draft copies of the Medium-Term Expenditure Framework 2023 to 2025 for onward transmission to the National Assembly for approval. Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed disclosed this when she briefed State House correspondents on the outcome of the Council's meeting on Wednesday in Abuja, noting that the draft document is for the next 3 years with assumed crude oil prices of $70 per barrel for 2023, $66 per barrel for 2024, and $62 per barrel for 2025.
Assumptions that we made for the next medium-term framework for 2023 to 2025 is that crude oil price will be at $70 per barrel for 2023 and $66 per barrel for 2024 and $62 per barrel for 2025. Crude oil production we projected to be 1.69 million barrels per day for 2023, 1.813 million barrels per day for both 2024 as well as 2025.
And now to sport news. 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel has announced his plan to retire from Formula One at the end of the 2022 season to spend more time with his family. The German revealed via his newly launched Instagram account today that he would be walking away from the series at the end of the season. Vettel, who made his F1 debut in 2007, is currently third on the list of all-time Grand Prix winners with 53 victories, trailing only Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher. In football, Atletico Madrid fans have urged the club to rule out signing Cristiano Ronaldo from Manchester United, displaying a protest at a pre-season friendly and warning that he is the opposite of the club's values of modesty and humility. Atletico have been one of the clubs linked to signing Ronaldo since it was reported that the 37-year-old wanted to leave Old Trafford this summer. While Atletico's president Enrique Cerezo said a move for Ronaldo was practically impossible due to financial reasons, on Wednesday, one of the club's official supporters groups released a statement demanding that they distance themselves from the forward. Ronaldo has a history of scoring important goals against Atletico, including the winning penalty in the 2016 Champions League final. And out to entertainment news, despite a notably airtight production line, Beyoncé's highly anticipated 7th studio album, Renaissance, has reportedly leaked to the public less than 48 hours before its release tomorrow. While the source of the leak remains unclear, social media users said that physical copies of the album have been spotted on sale at some locations in Europe. The leak came as a shock, as Beyoncé is known to keep everything very close to the vest. The 40-year-old singer last week revealed the track list for the album, which marks her first solo project in 6 years and features Tems, Jay-Z, Drake, Pharrell, and more as songwriters and contributors. That's it on the news at noon, right here on Lagos Talks 91.3.
We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.